Okay guys, we are writing inequalities from word problems. Before we even think about writing anything, what strategy do we use whenever we're dealing with word problems? There's 3 words that help us plan our word problem out. Start. What's next?
Change.
Change. And results. Great job, guys. Okay, so even though these aren't equations with an equal sign, we're still going to need to have an end result. We're going to start with some information. Our change is going to be where what is? What hangs out in the change? What could change?
The numbers.
Okay, so what do we, the variable. The variable represents the numbers. That's right. So it says, Tyler needs to buy a book for school that costs $13. He also wants to get a book for each of his 2 sisters. Okay, so he's doing some shopping. He wants to be sure he spends the same amount on each of their books. He only has $27 to spend. Let B represent the amount of cash he can spend on each additional book.
So do we add 13 up 3 times? No.
That's a great, we know we're starting with what?
13.
13. So I'm going to rewrite my little strategy here. Okay, we're starting with $13. Is this positive or negative?
That's positive.
Okay, so we know it's a positive amount. Now, we're going to let B represent the amount he can spend on each book. How many books does he want to buy?
3.
Well, he also wants to get a book for each of his 2 sisters. So the 13 is the book that he wants. He's going to buy 2 books for his sisters, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So then what's going right next to the B?
13. I mean, wait, so, hold on.
B
26.
represents a book. How many books does he want to get besides the one he's buying?
2.
2 for his 2 sisters. Very good.
I feel dumb.
Don't feel dumb. That's what word problems do. Word problems try to get you all mixed up. And that's why we're sticking with our same strategy. We start, we know he's paying $13 for that book. He's going to get that book.
Yep.
But then he doesn't know how much he wants to spend on his sisters. Now, how much is our end result that he can spend?
27.
So he can spend $27.
But if you take another book, it's 26. He only has $1 left. But that's 2. That's for him and his 1 sister.
Well, watch. He's spending 13 plus whatever it will cost for these 2 books. Now we're dealing with inequalities. This isn't an equal sign. This is where things get crazy.
Okay.
We need to know, okay? So over here off to the side, I'm going to write down what our choices are. We've got less than, greater than, less than or equal to, and greater than or equal to. He only has $27 in his pocket.
Wouldn't it be less than or equal to?
So whatever, I like that. He could spend the whole 27 bucks in his pocket, right? He could spend, so we know it could be equal to. Now the tricky part. Which way will my sign go? So could the 27 be, he can't do any more than 27?
He only has $27.
So everything else has to be less than the $27. Now we set up the problem, and then we would need to solve it. Okay? What's the first step I would do to solve this?
You would put negative 13 plus negative 13 from both
Exactly. I'm going to be subtracting 13 from both sides. You have a calculator. What would that leave us with?
That would leave us with
14.
So I would have 2b is less than or equal to 14. Remember, this is, so after he bought his book, he has $14 he could spend on his sisters. He wants to get them each a book.
but
What's our next step?
you got
I'm going to divide. You guys are right. We're going to divide both sides by 2. So these cancel out, and I'm left with b is less than or equal to 7. So this tells me how much money could he spend on each book?
$7.
$7 or less. Okay? You guys did this. Awesome. Awesome. Make sure your name's on your paper. I won't stop. Seriously, won't stop.
Stop recording.
I'm hitting it. I'm hitting it. It won't stop.
you have to cut this out.
Leave your paper. I'll grab it.
You're gonna have to edit that.
Very much.
Yeah, you're gonna have to edit all of that.
I don't have editing tools. I don't know why it's
On
not-
YouTube,